Hey coffee lovers, it's your favorite beverage explainer, The Coffee here, and today, we're diving deep into the world of coffee but with a twist. We all know and adore that jolt of energy, that comforting aroma, that delicious taste. Honestly, what would we do without it? But did you know your beloved coffee could be turning into a poison? Yes, you heard that right. There are seemingly harmless habits that can transform your daily brew from a health booster to a health buster. Stick around because in this video, you're about to discover how to keep your coffee safe, enjoyable, and on the path to wellness. Let's break it down. Let's talk about that first cup. You know, the one you guzzle down before anything else. While you might think you're jump-starting your day, you could be setting yourself up for some serious stomach trouble. Picture this. Caffeine hits your system, and it's like a wake-up call for your stomach acid. But on an empty stomach, it's like unleashing a pack of wild dogs onto a defenseless city. That acid starts gnawing away at your stomach lining, leading to heartburn that feels like a bonfire in your chest. So, do yourself a favor and have at least a little something in your stomach before that first sip. Your stomach will thank you for it. We all know caffeine is that magical elixir that helps us power through the day, but timing, my friends, is everything. Imagine this. You're cozying up for the night, ready to drift off to dreamland, but that afternoon coffee is still partying it up in your system. Suddenly, sleep is a distant memory. That's why drinking coffee too late in the day is a recipe for a sleepless night. So, set a caffeine curfew for yourself. Give yourself at least 6 to 8 hours before bedtime to let your body process that caffeine and wind down naturally. Okay, let's talk about sugar, the sweet temptress that can turn your healthy coffee into a health hazard. Think of it like this. You wouldn't climb Mount Everest with a backpack full of rocks, would you? That's what loading your coffee with sugar is like. It's weighing down your body with empty calories and setting you up for a whole host of health problems. We're talking about weight gain, type 2 diabetes, and even heart disease. It's like trading a monster for a gremlin. Not exactly an upgrade. Alright, coffee lovers, let's talk about dehydration. You see, caffeine is a bit of a diuretic, meaning it makes you, go more often. And while a little extra trip to the bathroom might not seem like a big deal, it can actually lead to dehydration if you're not careful. Now imagine this. You're already a bit dehydrated and you decide to add insult to injury by pouring in a sugary syrup or even worse, alcohol to your coffee. Remember, hydration is key for a healthy and happy body, so make sure you're counteracting coffee's diuretic effects by drinking plenty of water throughout the day. I know, there's nothing quite like that first sip of hot coffee in the morning, but hold on a second before you scorch your taste buds. Drinking coffee that's too hot is like giving your esophagus a hot iron treatment. It's not going to end well. See, your esophagus is like a delicate flower. It can handle warm temperatures, but anything too extreme can cause serious damage. So, how hot is too hot? Aim for a temperature that's comfortable to sip, not gulp. Let your coffee cool down for a few minutes and give your taste buds a chance to savor the flavors without feeling like they're on fire. Okay, let's talk about your coffee maker, the unsung hero of your morning routine. But here's the thing, your coffee maker can also be a breeding ground for bacteria if you're not careful. Think about it. Warm, moist environment, leftover coffee residue, it's basically a 5-star hotel for mold and bacteria. So, how do you keep your coffee maker from turning into a biohazard? Simple. Clean it regularly. Give it a good scrub with soap and water at least once a week, and run a vinegar solution through it monthly to disinfect it. And when those unwanted guests end up in your cup, let's just say it's not going to be a pleasant experience. Look, I get it, caffeine is amazing. It wakes you up, it makes you feel focused, and it's socially acceptable to consume before noon. But like with all good things, moderation is key. Too much caffeine, my friends, can turn your world upside down. We're talking the jitters, anxiety that makes you feel like you're late for everything, a heart that's racing like it's about to win the Kentucky Derby, and even caffeine toxicity, which is a real thing and no fun at all. So how much is too much? It varies from person to person, but most adults can handle up to 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. But listen to your body, my friends. If you're feeling any of those negative effects, it's time to cut back. Alright, coffee lovers, let's talk about something super important. The interaction between coffee and medication. Caffeine, you see, isn't just a pick-me-up, it's a potent chemical that can mess with how your body processes certain medications. We're talking about antidepressants, antibiotics, thyroid medications, the list goes on. So, what's the takeaway here? Simple, talk to your doctor or pharmacist about potential interactions between your daily cup of joe and any medications you're taking. They'll be able to tell you if it's safe to combine them or if you need to adjust your caffeine intake. So, you're trying to cut back on caffeine. Good for you. But before you reach for that decaf, we need to talk about a little something called chemical residue. Some methods use chemical solvents to extract the caffeine from the beans, and while this process is generally safe, if those solvents aren't properly removed, they can leave behind traces of residue in your coffee. Look for decaf coffee that's labeled as water processed or CO2 processed. These methods don't use harsh chemicals and are less likely to leave behind any unwanted residue. Let's be honest, we all have our vices, and for many of us, coffee is it. But here's the thing. If you find yourself constantly relying on coffee to mask fatigue, brain fog, or other symptoms, it's time to take a step back and listen to what your body's trying to tell you. Coffee should be a supplement, not a crutch. If you're constantly feeling run down, there's a good chance there's an underlying issue that needs to be addressed. So, there you have it. By avoiding these 10 fatal actions, you can continue to enjoy your coffee safely and reap its potential benefits. Remember, coffee, like anything else we consume, needs to be enjoyed in a way that supports our health, not hinders it. Remember to drink in moderation, stay hydrated, and listen to your body. Disclaimer. This information is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Always consult with a healthcare professional before making changes to your diet or lifestyle. If you found this information helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more health tips. Stay caffeinated but stay safe.